Hey guys, it's SoFlo Josh and I'm over here at South Dade Toyota to review this 2025 Toyota Camry SE for y'all. With that being said, let's go ahead and get out to the exterior of this new Camry. Just want to give a huge shout out to Alejandro and Omar for allowing me to review this 2025 Camry for y'all. With that being said, let's go ahead and continue looking out this generation of the Camry. Now, this generation of the Camry actually carries over that same exact platform, the TNGA platform that we saw from the prior generation to this generation. So that's why you see a large similarity of the side profile to that of the prior generation. But the exterior styling when it comes to the front and the rear has changed extensively. And let's go ahead and talk about that really quick. As you can see, you have that Prius style finish headlight unit right here with your the LED projector beam right there, which is really nice. You do have an incandescent bulb there for your turn signals. Now, if you go for the higher trims like the XLE and the XSE, you get a full DRL finish LED style with your turn signals being LED as well. But I do like the way they've styled it. I'm glad that Toyota went ahead and done it as what the Prius has right now, as well as what the Crown and the Crown Signia and has incorporated, which it just looks really, really nice and clean. It looks aggressive. And it looks unique. Whenever you're driving down the road, it looks actually very unique. Dropping it over here, as you can see, you do have ventilation for the side, air pass through around the side. It looks really, really nice. I like the way it's finished instead of the XSE where it's painted. If you ask me, having it like this, like a matte finish, will actually be more durable over time compared to that of you having it painted. Think about it, whenever you're driving on the highway, those cars or those trucks that are hauling those rocks and they come crashing over here, all the front grille is going to be so messed up because of the fact that it's painted. But with this, it's not going to be messed up because it has that matte finish to it overall. But it looks really nice. Over here you have that front splitter that wraps around the side with a faux style canard right there. It looks really nice. And in the grille over here, as you can see, it does have a honeycomb style finish overall to the front. And then over here you do have your Toyota logo, which is nicer compared to that of the prior generation where it was a stamp right in the middle and you know, all the safety sensors were packed in there. This does come with Toyota's new Safety Sense 3.0, so that gives you blind spot detection, fork mitigation, collision, as well as all the other safety sense suites that it comes with, which is really nice. You do have air vents off the top right there. They will pass air into that new 2.5 liter hybridized engine. With that being said, let's go ahead and check out that engine really quick. So this model does come only as a hybrid now, so it's no longer going to be a it's no longer going to have the naturally aspirated 2.4 of the previous generation and the V6 underneath the hood. It's solely going to be coming as this 2.5 liter hybrid engine. Now, this model is the front wheel drive model, so it's going to make 225 horsepower and 263 pound-feet of torque. And now if you go ahead and get the all-wheel drive version, you actually get 232 horsepower for that one, because there is an electric motor at the rear that will power those rear wheels overall to give you more maximum grip whenever you are driving it in climates where there's snow and so on and so forth. But the overall styling looks very nice from the front end. I like the way it looks. It looks very aggressive, very sporty. And speaking about sporty, let's go ahead and check out these 18-inch gloss black rims over here. Now, on the XSE, you actually get a two-tone finish with aluminum finish, but I actually like this one better. This looks a lot better in design. I like the gloss black finish. It just gives it a very nice aggressive styling overall to it. You actually have Continental tires, the Pro Contact TX, which is really nice. Continental is probably one of my favorite tire companies right now, actually, when it comes to any kind of cars. The way they grip compared to that of a Goodyear or other brands, the Pirellis, they just do so much better compared to that. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I'm just saying they're a really good tire company. Over here to the side profiles, you see that body line carries over from the prior generation with this model. Now, this is also finished in the heavy metal gray that we see in the Toyota GR Corolla, which is really nice to see that they actually implemented it here. Man, I would love to see a GR Toyota Camry at some point in the near future. You do have a different style lower door sill section right over here, so it's gonna look even more sportier. And then getting over here to the back, as you can see, a lot of changes have carried over here to the back. Now you have these lobster style cloth finished tail lights over here. Now these are LED around here, but they are incandescent for the turn signal, and I believe they are incandescent for the reverse light, which I kind of wish they just did a full LED for every single trim. Now there's only 4 trims as a whole right now, so just keep that in mind. You know, there's the LE, the SE, the XLE, and then the XSE. Hopefully there's more trims that will come later on. You do have that HEV logo right there with the Beyond Zero circle right there, SE badge off to the side, Camry finished in a gloss black, and then you have your Toyota badge as well, rear backup camera. And then over here you do have dual exhaust pipes. Now I did notice that when I looked at the Camry, there is a little cutout section right there to fill in another exhaust outlet. So hopefully maybe in the near future we could see either TRD finished Camry or a GR Camry, which would be amazing. You know, finally getting a sedan GR would be absolutely amazing overall. But nonetheless, it looks really nice. And you do get a spoiler with the SE model. Now this is paint matched to the heavy metal color. It's not like the XSE that gives you a gloss black finish overall, but nonetheless I like the way it is. And then you also do have a somewhat style finish for the diffuser as well. Let's go ahead and get into the trunk space. And as you can see here, it's not power operated, but it does, once you press the button, it will fully automatically open up for you, which is great. Now getting in here, you have a ton of space. Now since this model only comes as a hybrid, you do have a little bit of a hump section right there because the battery does reside underneath those passenger seats right there. But nonetheless, really nice. You have a halogen style light here, which I wish that it would do full LED, and I think the top trims actually give you a LED lighting overall. One little nifty feature is you get this and you can actually hook it up over here to access your spare tire right here. So let's go ahead and show you really quick. You can access your spare tire just in case if you get a flat whenever you are driving, which is super cool that Toyota has encompassed that. And if you want to help anybody else that's outside on the side road who has a flat, you don't have to worry about continue to open and close it, open and close it. No. Toyota thought of everything for their customers and even people who are in need of help. You do have 2 pull tabs right over here for the rear seat space over here. So let's go ahead and check out the rear compartment space. Getting over here to the door panel, it is hard plastic all across right here. The only soft material is this right here, which it has like a synthetic injection molding right here, but it's also hard plastic right here. You have a little bit of a silver finish to the door handles. You do have your window switch right here, and you have a cup holder with your speaker system right here. Now this does not come with the upgraded audio system, which I'll talk more about that, which would be the 12.3-inch touchscreen display, and it gives you JBL. Unfortunately that one doesn't come, this one doesn't come with it, but this is what a base SE model would look like all in all. You do have 2 vents over here, which the prior generation hybrid motor version did not even come with vents for the rear occupants, which is great that they finally encompassed that. You do have 2 USBs right here, a USB-B and a USB Type-C right there, which is really nice. I'm glad to see that. 2 map pockets right over here, and the seats feel very great. Before I continue talking about that, and I almost forgot to show you how it looked like with the seats folded down. As you can see, there is a marginal hump right there. So as you can see, that compartment right there would be where the battery resides. So just keep that in mind, that it's going to be a little bit harder to put things into this back seat space compared to that of model like the prior generation, the non-hybrids, since the battery resides over there. Actually, the vent for the batteries are actually right here. So as you can see, there is some ventilation that goes into the rear battery so it can cool it overall. But rear seat space feels great. This is exactly where I would sit. I'm 6 foot tall, so I have roughly about, I want to say 2 to 2.5 inches of space over here, which is great. And it does curl inwards, so that means that if you were a little bit taller, maybe like 6'5", you would still fit nonetheless. But I also do have it sitting very low to the ground, but there's no intrusion of feet space at all, which is actually great. The seats feel very nice. As you can see, this white stripe right here with the white stitching overall, and it does carry over here with this cloth material. You do have a little bit of white piping around it. Headrests feel very nice and plush overall, and you do have the isofix down over here. As you can see, you can go ahead and access this and put your child seats right there. One thing I will note that I'm really not a huge fan of is the fact that the center console area for your cup holders for the rear occupants actually just slaps down. It doesn't actually stay leveled up. I kind of wish they would have it leveled up so then it wouldn't be like that, but nonetheless, really good amount of leg room. Head space wise, I have about, maybe, I'm sitting up tall, let me go ahead and sit up tall. I have about 0.5 inches of headroom space, and that, mind you, I don't have the upgraded sunroof over here. So if you were to have the upgraded sunroof, a little bit of the rear occupant headroom will be cut because of the mechanical changes to that sunroof overall. You do have your light fixture right here, and unfortunately it is halogen, which I'm not a huge fan of. But nonetheless, really good occupant space in the rear. Feels absolutely nice to sit in the back. Now let's go ahead and talk about the front. Now, in the front, we actually do have soft padding across the top. You do also have that same exact cloth material we saw on the rear seat that goes from here in the door panel to the dash. You do have soft injection molding right here as well, and you do have as well some areas for your cups to put window switch gears, and your mirror gear is over here as well. This does come with a power seat for the SE, which is nice. The LE does not actually come with that, so just keep that in mind overall. The rear seats right here, as you can see, it's finished in that same exact cloth material with that leatherette style finish, and then you have that same stripe that carries over here in the middle to the side as well with the white stitch piping all across. But let's go ahead and get into the interior overall. And as you can see, really nice interior. You have the same exact steering wheel finish from the Toyota Crown, which I actually do like. You have all your switch gears over here to control your 8-inch digital gauge cluster, and you can also change the media controls over here for this 8-inch touchscreen display. Now, you could get the upgraded 12.3-inch touchscreen display for this model. It is an added package, but if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really necessarily think you need it. I think this is a great amount of size for this vehicle. The 12.3 could be more distracting for somebody who's looking at getting a vehicle for maybe even their kids, or they're a little bit older and maybe they don't want something too distracting overall with this touchscreen over here. But as you can see, digital gauge cluster over here, you have everything laid out across. You could turn on and off all your safety senses right there. You have your fuel gauge and then your engine temperature right there. But nonetheless, really nice dash. I love this gloss black finish across the top. I have said it in different cars before, but this is actually, I see like this is being an ample amount of gloss black with the styling it's done. It's not too drastic, like, you know, this section right here is not gloss black, even though it might look like it. It's a actually like matte finish overall. You do have your shifter right here. Let's go ahead and put into reverse right here. As you can see, you do have trajectory with the reverse lines as well, and you can change how you want your rear view camera to look like, so you have more of a fisheye lens overall, and you can actually disable that section right there completely. If you don't want to have those lines, you can change it, as you can see, to just not having the lines or encompassing everything, which is really nice. I like the way that Toyota allows you to have that much functionality. You do have a wireless Qi charging right here, which is super nice that Toyota has incorporated that. It feels nice and snug. Now this is a 14-inch of iPhone 14 Pro Max right there, so it's gonna fit lovely in that compartment right there. As you can see, you have a USB right there for your multimedia functionality, and then you have two USB type C's right there, which is great. More cubby space right here, and you have two large cup holders overall. You do have your drive modes over here, which is going to be eco, normal, and sport, so just keep that in mind. Now if you get the upper models like the XLE and XSE, you actually do get the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that will give you an animation whenever you are changing your modes. You do have an EV mode. When you press that, it just keeps it EV completely, and then you have an hold functionality, so whenever you come to a stop, it will hold the vehicle. Emergency parking brake right there. And then getting over here, as you can see, large bin style finish right here. It's lined with felt on the bottom but not on the sides, and you do have a 12 volt right there, which is actually really nice to see. But the seats feel very comfortable. With headroom space, I have a good amount of headroom space up here. I would say maybe about 4 inches of headroom space left, which is nice. I am sitting very low to the ground, so just keep that in mind. This steering wheel actually does have paddle shifters to go ahead and, you know, simulate gear changes for this eCVT. In the mirror, this is only going to be coming in a hybrid version, so you're going to be having an eCVT for this model. Getting over here, you do have a glove box, which is great, and nonetheless, but it's not lined with felt, but it is damp, so just keep that in mind. But these seats just, oh my god, these seats feel very nice, very plush, and I like the overall styling of everything. You do have LED matte lights up here, which is kind of funny. It's LED up here, but it's halogen in the back, which I don't understand. And then you have your SOS, as well as a LED mirror right there as well, so keep that in mind whenever you are using that. You do have a sunglasses holder. Now if you do get the sunroof, you actually lose this feature, so just keep that in mind. If somebody who doesn't want to have a sunroof, you actually still have your compartment there for your sunglasses. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take this all new 2025 Camry out on the road. So now let's go ahead and take this model out to the road, and taking out to the road is actually very easy overall. Right now I have it in EV mode, so that means it's primarily using that electric battery to go ahead and propel itself forward. It's not even using the 2.5 liter. There we go, it just deactivated. So now the engine is actually turned on and it's seamless. There is no, you know, bumpy or rattliness whenever it does whirl into life. Yeah, you do hear the engine turn on, but it's not like something of other models where they have a hybridized engine and you can feel that like that jerkiness of it kicking on. With this, it's seamless, which is great because Toyota's always been known for their hybrid engines. But keeping it in normal right now, it actually feels very good. This does have regenerative braking, so keep that in mind. Whenever we are coming to a stop, all that friction from those brakes will come back into the battery and give you more miles for your battery. And when you come into this more slow stop, you can actually hear the little sound that it makes whenever it turns off the engine to keep the pedestrians notified, hey, there is an electric vehicle or hybrid vehicle coming out. So let's go ahead and put it into sport mode really quick. And putting into sport mode, roll into, whoa, okay, that's a good amount of horsepower and torque. Holy cow, wow. Whoa, that feels good. Wow, I did not think it would be that good. This hybrid engine is phenomenal. Either third generation or fifth generation hybrid powertrain that Toyota has come out with. And let me tell you something, the way it just kicks down, that eCVT is phenomenal. Let me tell you, I would totally recommend a vehicle like this. If you're looking for something that's not electric, you want to look for something that's hybrid, that's not plug-in hybrid, go for something like this immediately. This feels phenomenal. I have right now a Honda HR-V, and that CVT is your conventional CVT, but this is just like you press down and instant, look at that, straight off the bat it kicks down and it gives you an ample amount of, you know, thrust, acceleration that you need to get onto the highway. So wow, I'm actually surprised of how good this is. Toyota's hybrid systems have been here for years, and I mean, they were the pioneers for hybrid motors as a whole. So you know that Toyota knows how to make a sporty hybrid or even a very efficient hybrid motor overall. But let's go ahead and take it out to the stop, and we're gonna keep it in, let's go put it into sport mode back again, and let's see how it does over here. We're actually gonna put it into the S section as well. Let's see, I can actually simulate shifts as well. Let's go ahead and take it out over here. I'm gonna press on the brake really quick, and ooh, a little bit of wheel chirp that comes out from the front wheels of this model. So there is that level of sportiness, which is super nice. that this vehicle has. Wow, if I have to say something, I've driven the Honda Accord hybrid. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do a video on that, but that vehicle doesn't feel as sporty as this, and this is a hybrid powertrain. Think about that for a second. And it doesn't look bland. I think that the Accord looks absolutely boring to look at, actually, in my eyes. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get back to the dealership, and let's go ahead and wrap this video up for y'all. So now we're back over here at the dealership, and let me give you guys my final verdict of the all-new 2025 Toyota Camry. Now, I love the overall styling of this new Camry. I love the front end, the interior changes, the quality improvements overall, and that rear end design. And I have to say, I think this is an awesome generation improvement over the prior one. Now, I know that this rides on the exact same chassis as the prior one, but that's a given. I mean, now you need to cut costs somewhere in order to keep the cost down overall for this model, which is something also the Honda Accord did. They actually reused the same chassis of the prior generation, just did little improvements to it. Now, that Accord is boring overall. The design looks absolutely boring. This vehicle just looks sporty, aggressive, in your face compared to that. And it also has an amazing hybrid engine underneath the hood, that 2.5 liter hybrid engine that makes 225 horsepower, and it's just a wonderful engine. Also, one key thing that you can get is all-wheel drive with this model. So it adds an electric motor to the rear, so that will give you all-wheel drive compared to that of the Accord. The Accord doesn't even give you all-wheel drive. Think about that for a second. And you know, fuel economy is going to be absolutely amazing for this generation. So I would totally recommend somebody to go ahead and pick this up if they're looking for a new mid-size sedan overall. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.